here we go. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of ley lines, we have the red Protoss player. The red Protoss representing Team Quasar. It is Art. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player. The blue Protoss himself representing Team Little Fairy. It is a Shameless. Here we go. Getting into another PvP. Of course, we just featured Shameless versus Pappy, and it was a very intense matchup, very aggressive, of course. We had a lot of all-ins, a lot of proxies, and we'll see how if that trend continues here as well. So now we have our 2-gate opener out of Art, likewise 2-gate opener out of Shameless. Shameless, he fans out with a probe towards the left, meanwhile so does Art. They're both headed in a similar direction. Oh, never mind. Art is just going for a scout across the map, Shameless hiding his probe. We go. Based on this location here, it looks like potentially either a proxy Stargate or a fake pylon, as it is quite far away. Meanwhile, RT goes in for the scout. He will confirm the pylon is missing. Something's wrong. RT is aware. For us, we're waiting for the Cybercore, and again, we are expecting our tech of choice. Cybercore's done. Proxy Stargate. Okay, the reason why we assumed it was Stargate is just because it is a long rush distance by ground, but short rush distance by air. The standard proxy location is here at just outside the main base. The second location would be here a little bit further back. This is the third location. It is a lot farther back than we would like to see, but it is closer than the main. True, it is closer. Because it's so far back, it is difficult to scout. You can see here, yep, Art, he checks the standard proxy location, and then he should check down here on the low ground. Yep, the second location. Checking where we would expect to see a Stargate. Ooh, and RT does go for a Robo. Again, he's checking, he's confirming that there's no Stargate, but it looks like he will finally find the actual proxy. No shot! He misses! Barely does miss the Stargate. Ay, ay, ay. So a big misread here from RT. He's going for the Robo. This is to defend against a one-base all-in, but it's not an all-in coming. Proxy Stargate is just a harass. Shameless will be expanding. And Art, he's making immortals. Now Art, he should be forced into a one-base all-in. Because he's stuck on one base, because he's making immortals soon, when I say soon, here and now, he will confirm that there is a nexus. And once he does, he has the option, he has a choice to throw down a gateway. And as you can see here, the shield barrier doesn't help. He hasn't confirmed yet with the probe. He's convinced an all-in is coming. Yeah, no. And Stalkers move in, and now he finds out what's been happening. Now Art is aware. War Prism is on the way. Oof, probe is going to be going down. Using 3 workers and all this mining time. And as we mentioned, we should be seeing a third gateway and just a one-base all-in. Just Art, he's forced into an all-in. Which can still work. As he's rallying everything across the map. Main base is exposed. The Oracle goes back into the main. Oof, deals more damage. Gets 2 more probes. Here comes Art. Now back at home, what do we have to defend? We have 2 shield batteries, soon to be 3. So 3 shield batteries. We have some force fields. Immortal production is halfway done. Shameless has to survive until the immortal pops out. It's not going to be easy. I'm moving in. Does move in, does juggle over the wall. The immortal going for the sentry. So far, Shameless buying time. Does take down a couple of stalkers. Oof. But he's had a Venji. There we go, shield battery back online. The immortal has arrived. Does move in. And with that Shameless, he is holding. Remember, he can pull the boys. Yeah, boys are being pulled. It's still quite close. Warpin does complete. Alright, he has control of the natural. Okay. Has control of the natural, takes down the pylon. At the same time, the Oracle does get damage done across the map, 3 more probe kills. Again, Shameless is barely broken. Shameless, he cannot move down the ramp. He cannot save the base will go down. So 1 base versus 1 base. Who do we favor? Keep housing giveaways for a moment. Adaptation into the middle line, more probes are going down. Art, he's making this work. He's making this work. No target firing towards the end. Oh, he's getting caught out. Oh no! Yeah, he's getting caught. Lane control. So Artie was distracted. He was distracted. And as it settles, Art actually up in workers. He's got 20 probes to the 16 of Shameless. Shameless still has a lot of probes here to the Adepts. At the same time, he does have 2 Immortals. Oh, also, before I forget, there we go. I was engrossed in the game, but predictions were open. A little bit late, but get your Gamba going. So there we go, we do have the drop on the pylon. Likewise, Shameless going across the map. Shameless gets supply blocked. Same time, let's get the pylon. It goes down. This is still very tense, still very close. The Oracle getting more damage, 6 more probes falling. Nice force fields in the main base, cashing out more probes. Like, this is what's crucial here, crippling the economy. Oh, and the army's stuck? The army's trapped. Again, Shameless, he made the choice to move out across map with his War Prism. So he cannot control back at home, he cannot juggle. He's lacking that micro. Nice control, he should get the Immortal. He should! Oh no, the Immortal survives! That should not have happened. Yeah, miscontrol there from Shameless. Does miscontrol. Alright, he starts up his own Phoenix. And Artie might just have this. Like, Phoenixes, there's such a strong tool here in this kind of game state. To do this, to chase down the War Prism. And what can the Prism do? Nothing. Prism's gonna go down. The Immortals, they break out. Oh, bait into the stasis. Okay. Nice bait. Prism gets sniped. Snipe, there's the recall back home. Shameless is expanding, so is Art. And do we stabilize from here? I mean, looking at the army size, there's still 5 Immortals left over for Art. And he has the Phoenixes as well. He has the Phoenix lead. Again, the MVPs of this game were the Adepts. The Adepts, they dealt so much economic damage to the main. That should never have happened. But Shameless did mess up. Alright, he's going for the kill. Jumping into the main base. Again, does have the Phoenix advantage. But he's pushing into a shield battery. Uh-oh. Phoenixes, they do trade. Prism drop into the mineral line, killing more probes. Shameless does catch out the sentries at least. That's another 6 probe kills. Shameless, can he take down the Prism? Uh-oh. Okay, here comes the interception. There's a recall. Oh, Oromas! Ooh, barely not. The one Stalker. This one Stalker did move away. Could have gotten the last shot off. Este Stalker. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, it did move out of range. And Art does get away. And Art takes a lead. Like, Art, he has a very comfortable lead here. He's up in Immortals. Getting into Blink. Has better saturation. Better economy. It's been a very intense game here with Art being forced into a one-base all-in, which was able to deal some critical damage, specifically thanks to the Adepts. Adepts ain't popped off. And Shameless should have had that economic advantage coming into this game, but alas it not. Lost 25 workers in total to the 18 of Art. Shameless taking a third base. Now from here, the game is slowing down. The advantages that Art had, he didn't press the advantage, so because of that, Shameless is recovering. I'm referring to this, third base, right? The third base is now done, so Shameless, he can recover economically, making 3 probes at a time. Art, his third base is only halfway done. So in this time, Shameless is recovering. He'd be vulnerable to an all-in, but Art is not all-inning. Art is also expanding. So Art is allowing Shameless to recover in this game. So Shameless is recovering. We're both building up into the mid-game. Coming into this game state here, Art will have the +1 advantage. He has +1 in production. Shameless, I believe, no Forge. Yeah, no Forge. So no Forge for Shameless. Oh wait, no, sorry, he does have one. There it is. So +1 is on the way. He's not too far behind. Depending on the chrono boost, then Shameless, he can also catch up in this upgrade as well. We have Charge on the way, Temple Archives. Art, he's refining his army, getting to Charge our Archon. Likewise, Shameless, not too far behind. Is delayed when it comes to Charge and should be delayed when it comes to Temple Archives as well. But he's also getting there, and if Art is too passive, then again, Shameless will catch up in all that tech. There it is. There's that Temple Archives. So again, the game is slowing down. Oh. Cast is not being taken. Art has still been mining more gas for longer, so he still has the better army, at least currently. Getting up in Immortals, up in Archons. Look at the War Prism. Here comes Art. And we'll see how he engages, as he does go too far ahead with those Zealots. Ooh, as the Zealots go down, the Prism barely gets away. But a messy engagement here from Art. Better start for Shameless. Shameless is moving in. Does move in, does get on top of the 4th base. Does force a cancel. Pulls back, he rotates again, he did deny the 4th. And there's no pressure. Art, he can just back up, he can just chill, get his own 4th base up and running. And Art should be the first to max. Should be the first. You could definitely argue that Art could have kept pushing, but just playing it safe. Safe. Once again, his Immortals are lagging behind. Now catching up. Shameless, he's getting on top of the Archons. The Archons are going down. Again, a bit of a fumbled fight here from Art. Pushing up a ramp into a concave. And Art will lose every Archon. Again, half the fight occurred without the Immortals. GG gets called. And Shameless, he fights back. He puts a point on the board. Whew, GG. GG, well played. Again, Arts, he had the faster 4th base, he had the better economy, he did not have to fight then and there, and also when it came to the fight, as we mentioned, his army was lagging behind, he came in segments really, if anything, the Immortals were lagging behind, pushing up a ramp into a concave, and GG, Art, he just ran out of patience. He ran out of patience, man. Yeah. S the Art, and with that, Shameless, he does take a lead. Does take a lead here. Shameless, he recovered. He hung in there. And now we're getting into game number 2. Whew. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Golden Aura, we have the red Protoss player. With the red Protoss representing Team Quasar, it is Art. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player representing Team Little Fairy. It is Shameless. Leading the series 1-0, and again, Art, he just had to calm down. He was in a better position. He had more Archons, more Immortals. He had the faster 4th base. He had the better army. He just had to calm down. With that, we're getting into game 2. Again, welcome one and all to Golden Aura. Golden Aura is one of the older maps in the map pool. Is one of the older maps from a couple of years ago. But back for this tournament. And we'll see where our players do take us. Last game we had Shameless going for the proxy Stargate. We had Art with a big misread going for the Robo back at home and being forced into the 1-base all-in. I will say that Shameless, he should have had the advantage when it came to the defense of that 1-base all-in. But Shameless, the Adepts, they got into the main base. He lost a lot of probes. And Art was able to take an advantage, take a lead. For now, Shameless, he probe scouts, and there's no proxy. There's no proxy, there's no shenanigans. Yes, this is a PSA for those out there in the chat. Just calm down, but calm down. When you're ahead, you can just get further ahead, man. Just get further ahead. Let the fourth base kick in. Be the first to max out. Otherwise, from here, standard openers. This time, there's no proxy out of Shameless, likewise, no proxy out of Art. Both players should be expanding. That's why you can see both players are here to pylon block. There's Nexus for Shameless. And there's the base for Art. Oh, he actually makes another set of Stalkers. Art, did he scout? He didn't see the Nexus. So, delayed expansion out of our red Protoss. One base all in. Proxy. Hello? Does go for the Nexus, but behind this, he's setting up for the proxy here across the map. Robo open out of Shameless. Very safe play out of our blue Protoss. Yeah, there's the pylon. Okay, so a couple of things here. So, a Robo opener after a natural expansion is indicative here of very safe play. This does mean that Shameless does have early Immortal production. The downside is Blink, right? No Twilight Council, no Blink. So, because he has no Blink Stalkers, Shameless, he shouldn't be active on the map. He should not be pushing because he would get caught out, right? He'd be outmaneuvered by his opponent. So, this should be a very defensive, very safe play out of Shameless. Meanwhile, Art, he is pushing. And we'll see if Shameless can survive. Art's going for his own Robo back at home. So Robo versus Robo. Interesting. Shameless defends. They're going for the initial War Prism. We'll have that micro potential. Spots the army. Alright, so there are those two MVP adepts. Oh. Shameless getting locked down. Let's trade a couple of Stalkers. Adepts, they try to shade in. Gonna be blocked. Yeah, this time Shameless is keeping up. Losing only 2 adepts. Or 2 probes, I meant to say. Yeah, only 2 worker kills. Much cleaner defense this time from Shameless. And he holds. Shameless does hold. Scouts across the map, he confirms their saturation. I should have confirmed the tech as well. Yep, did confirm the Robo. So he knows. So where are the Robo? Behind this, going for the Twilight Council. Now, because both players would open up Robo, I'm curious to see if Shameless does go straight into charge. He could go straight into charge or straight into Glaive Adepts. What's it gonna be? Do we skip Blink? That's what I'm getting at. Do we skip it? Third base is being taken. So that's not distracting. Shades into the main. Oh. Barely. Doesn't quite get in. Shameless is banking a lot of resources. Where's the upgrade? There it is. He's not skipping, so he's going into Blink. This is a little bit delayed, just because of the Adept distraction. So delayed Blink, and we spoke about Charge or Glaives. We're seeing Glaives out of Art. Again, I assumed that it was going to be Shameless going into Glaives. Other way around. So as you can imagine, Glaives does not scale well into a longer game. It makes sense that we're going into Glaives, going into +1, while Shameless expands. So Shameless is gearing up towards a longer game. Art, he's doubling down on 2 bases. Glaive Adepts, they do a great job when it comes to tanking shots, and yeah, just mainly tanking shots. And also dealing with charge lots as well. So Art, he should not be stopping Immortal production. He needs as many Immortals as possible. As Art is all in. Art is just going for a 2-base all-in, going for a Gateway Explosion. I believe that's going to be a 2-base 7-gate all-in. I believe he can afford another Gateway for an 8. And Shameless, his win condition, just survive. Just defend. Defend, survive. Vámonos, sin vergüenza, man. True, true. Without any fear. Saying just send it, man. Just send it. Saudi's pushing. Again, it's all or nothing. Either he kills Shameless or he dies trying. But the problem here is that Shameless, he's pretty well set up. He's got, what, 3, 4 shield batteries. Jumping into the main. Let him say cancel the shade. Going for the warp in. Does go for the blink. Ooh, the prism does not get out. A force to recall. Ay, ay, ay. Brutal loss. And, yeah, things are looking bleak for Art. He has to get damage done. So far, this is not good enough. Does force field, does zone away the main army. So they just blink over. Yeah, they just blink over the wall. And there's no immortals. There's 0 immortals here with the main army. Where are they? That's meant to be the advantage. Again, the immortals they had to recall back home. The immortals are not a part of the fight. It's a lot of force fields, making it a little bit awkward. But Shameless, he will take this. Yeah, the shield batteries, they put in a lot of work. Once again, the immortals, they get zoned away. And GG gets scored. GG gets called. RT runs out of steam, and Shameless, he will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the next round. GG. GG, well played. Again, a bit of an awkward all-in out of Art. He had a cheeky move dropping into the main base, but he lost the Warp Prism, was forced to recall, and in doing so, that heavily delayed the all-in from Art. Time was of the essence. The longer the game went on, the better it was for Shameless, of course, and with that, GG. GG, well played in the end. Shameless did overwhelm. Game 1 was close though. Again, I can see a world where this goes to the ace match. Game 1 was Art's game, 100%. It was meant to be his game, papi, but alas, in the end, Art, he did fumble the ball. He got a little bit too excited. He was a little bit premature. Like, he was ahead in so many aspects. Remember, Art, he had more Archons, he had more Immortals, he had a higher base count, he had a better economy, and then he kind of rallied up a ramp and into his death. It was like, ay. So again, there's a world out there where we could have seen an ace match, but in the end, Shameless did punish the mistakes of Art, and Shameless did claim it. GG. GG, well played, congratulations. Shameless does advance on, and now we can catch up with the rest of the brackets. Let's figure out where we are, as we have reached our top four of the tournament. Quickly here, from the very top of the bracket, in the upper bracket, we have the top 2 players, Art and Percival. This is the other Art. So you can see there was the Art on Art action earlier in the brackets, but that is the Polish Art. The Polish Art is up against Percival in the upper bracket. Percival did take down Young Yakov, of course. They're going to be facing off in a best of 5. Scrolling down, we do have the lower bracket where we just have featured Young Yakov taking down Nickrat, and we just featured Shameless taking down Art as well. So we have Young Yakov and Shameless. They're going to be facing off in the best of 5 in the lower bracket semifinals. So we have our top four players. We have Art and Percival, and we have Young Yakov and Shameless. So top 4 players of the tournament. We will not be featuring the final matches here. Again, this will be next week. Should be like next week or the week after. We might cover it, otherwise it could be steadfast, but these are best of 5s. Best of 5s moving forward, and I believe a best of 7 finals. No, just best of 5. So best of 5s all around. 4 best of 5s remaining here in the tournament to crown our OSC Elite Rising Star champion. For those that maybe tune in a little bit late, for those that are curious what this tournament is, this tournament, as you can see, is a massive tournament. Double elimination, featuring players like Iba, Jumi, Baby Marine, Night Phoenix, Percival, Inexorable, Sebestes, Shameless. Basically, players that are definitely up there. They're top players, of course, top players out there, but they're in the middle of the pack, right? This is not like a Serral or a Raynor or a Hero or a Classic. Basically, this tournament is restricted, and it does not allow those top players to compete. Basically, if players place too highly in major premier tournaments, like in Katowice or EWC or EPT, DreamHack, if they place too highly in these big events, they are ineligible to compete in this tournament. So again, this is for, as the tournament, as the name suggests, the Rising Stars. For the Rising Stars, to allow them to compete amongst each other. And again, as we mentioned, we have a top 4. Last season, the last OSC Elite Rising Star champion, fun fact, was who? Was Jumi. Jumi was the last champion, but he gets knocked out early by Sebestis, and it allows for these other players to rise up instead. Young Yakov, Shameless, Percival, and Art. And again, that'll be wrapping up in the next couple of weeks. We might cover it, Steadfast might cover it, it all depends. Typically for OSC events, they do rotate casters, and they rotate between the community casters, whether it's ourselves, Steadfast, Wardy, Chicken Man, Dave Testa, one or the other. We'll be out there covering the event. We'll be out there. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for support. We do appreciate it. When it comes to the rest of our schedule, as you can see here, we do have an intense schedule this week. We just wrapped up with the Tuesday morning cast. This evening, we're going to be live with Sparkling Tuna Cup. That is going to be the monthly invitational. That is going to be featuring players like Hero, players like Bjorn, players like Shin as well, featuring some of the best players in the world. Oh boy. Let me just show off. Un momento. Let's have a look here. Bam. There we go. So tonight we're live with the Sparkling Tuna Cup, but this is a very special edition. This is a monthly edition. Typically, for those that are curious, the Tuna Cup is an open tournament. It is our weekly open cup. It is very similar to, say, Wardy TV Monday or Pigstar Cup or Monday Night Weeklies. So it's our regular weekly tournament that is open to all players. But specifically for the remainder of the year, these weeklies, they lead to a monthly finals. And we have our top 8 players for the month. We have Nightmare versus Shin. We have Bjorn versus Geralt. We have Hero versus Young Yakov, and Creator versus Nicorette. Here we go. So we have our top 8 players here for the month, and they're going to be facing off tonight. They're going to be facing off live tonight here in our top 8 round of 8 bracket. The way that it works is we're going to be featuring the first 2 series initially. So we're going to be casting Nightmare versus Shin, Bjorn versus Geralt is going to be happening at the same time, and we're going to be covering Hero versus Young Yakov, Creator versus Nicorette also happening at the same time as well. So we're going to get into our quarterfinals. That will lead into the semis thereafter, and then into the grand finals. Oh boy. So again, that is all going to be tonight. That is going to be in around 7.5 hours. 7.5 hours time. I'm going to get some breakfast. I'm going to go get some food, and then I'm going to pass the hell out and get some sleep and get ready for the cast. It's going to be amazing. Going to be beautiful. Going to be the first of many monthly finals. Let's go. Let us go. As you can see in the schedule, you can see there 7 p.m. KST, the Tuna, you can see there Tuesday night. Tomorrow we're going to be live with the Pigstar Cup, and then we have Little League Cup, then we have the Starfest qualifiers. I'll leave a bit of a caveat for that. I was just notified that I might not be available Thursday morning, so we might be skipping that cast. But for the most part, we have plenty of StarCraft. We're going to be live at least every day. Once a day, every single day at least, otherwise twice a day. So a lot of content, a lot of StarCraft. Awkward adolescent Yakov is my favorite. Oh no. Oh no. He has leveled up from young Yakov. True. But GG, well played. With that, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate it. If you want to support us, you can do so via Patreon. The Patreon does actually fund our tournaments. It funds the Tuna Cup. It does fund the Tuna Cup. So if you wish to support, you can. Otherwise, we'll see you guys later on tonight. See you later on tonight here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. We'll see you guys next time. Until then, ciao. Papi, ciao. Hasta luego. See you next time.